Pause this video for a second. Seriously, if someone asked you right now, how much of your money is actually safe to spend? Not your total balance, not a rough guess, the real number. The number you could spend today without breaking anything tomorrow. Would you know it instantly? Most people don't, and that's not because they're careless. It's because their money has no clear structure, so every decision becomes a guess, and when decisions are guesses, results become inconsistent. Today, we're going to fix that, not with a complicated plan, not with perfect math, but with one focused hour that removes the chaos and replaces it with clarity. This is not a budgeting tutorial. I'm not going to tell you to track every expense. I'm not going to tell you what to invest in. I'm not going to give you a list of apps. This is something more useful. I'm going to walk you through how to structure your financial life in 60 minutes, so that after those 60 minutes are over, your money starts behaving differently. Before we start, you need to see the real problem clearly. Most people believe they have a spending problem. They think, I just need to be more careful. I just need more discipline. I just need to try harder this month. So they watch what they spend. They hesitate before purchases. They try to stay in control. And for a few days, it works. Then something small happens. A subscription renews. A random expense appears. They forget something they were supposed to account for. And suddenly, the whole plan feels shaky. So they reset. Again. Now imagine this happening 5 or 6 times in a row. Each time, the intention is good. Each time, the result slowly slips. Not because the person changed, but because the structure never did. That cycle doesn't happen because people are irresponsible. It happens because decisions are happening in real time. Every purchase requires thinking. Every situation requires judgment. Every change requires adjustment. That is mentally expensive, and anything that depends on constant attention eventually breaks. You are not about to fix your entire financial life. That's not realistic. What you're about to do is much more important. You're going to remove the need to make most decisions manually. You're going to define what your money is for where it goes and what is actually safe to use. So instead of reacting to money, you start controlling the structure behind it. That's the shift. And once that shift happens, something subtle changes. Money stops feeling unpredictable. Not because everything is perfect, but because fewer things are left to chance. Open your banking app. Don't analyze anything yet. Just look at your balance. Now pause and ask yourself one question. If I spend $100 right now, does it break anything? Not, can I afford it? That's a different question. Does it interfere with something you already committed to? Does it touch money that was supposed to go somewhere else? If you hesitate, you don't have clarity. And without clarity, every decision feels slightly risky. That's why people feel stressed about money even when they're not broke. Because they're never fully sure. Now picture this situation. You check your balance on Friday, it looks fine. You go out, you order something, you make a few small decisions, nothing extreme. Then Monday comes, a bill clears, something else hits your account, and suddenly the number feels very different. That didn't happen because you overspent. It happened because you didn't know what was already spoken for. Now do this. Without overthinking it, split your money into 3 categories. Money that is already committed, money that should move forward. Money that is actually safe to use. You don't need exact numbers. You need rough boundaries, because right now, everything is sitting in one place. And when everything is in one place, everything feels available. That's where mistakes happen, not because of bad intentions, because of unclear structure. Now we make one change, not 10, 1. You choose a way to separate those categories, not necessarily perfectly, just enough to make them feel different. Some people do this by using separate accounts. Some people do it through automation. Some people do it by moving money immediately after it arrives. The method doesn't matter. The separation does. Here's why this works. When money is separated, it changes how your brain reacts to it. Money that is clearly assigned stops feeling like an option. Money that is out of reach stops being part of daily decisions. And money that is left becomes easier to use without hesitation. Imagine 2 setups. In the first, everything sits in one balance. In the second, money is already divided. Same total amount, completely different experience. In the first case, every decision feels uncertain. In the second, most decisions feel obvious. That difference is not about discipline, it's about structure. Here's the key idea. Money should not wait for your attention, because attention is inconsistent. Some days you're focused, some days you're distracted, some days you don't want to think about money at all. Your system should not depend on your best days. It should work on your average days. Now let's talk about the part most people avoid, not because they don't understand it, but because they don't trust it. Investing. Most people delay it for one reason. They don't know when to start. They want to feel confident. They want to feel like the timing makes sense, but that moment rarely comes, because markets don't feel safe when you're about to begin. If things are rising, it feels late. If things are falling, it feels risky. If nothing is happening, it feels uncertain. So people wait, and while they wait, nothing moves. Now picture two people. One spends months learning, comparing, thinking. The other starts small. Not perfect, not optimized, just consistent. At first, the difference is invisible. Both feel like they're figuring it out, but over time, something changes. One has movement, the other has intention, and intention doesn't compound. So instead of asking, when is the right time? Ask, how do I make this happen consistently? Now you're not trying to predict, you're trying to participate. So in this part of your hour, you decide what amount you can repeat, how often it should happen, and how to make it automatic, not perfect, just consistent. Even a small amount works, because consistency compounds. Waiting doesn't. Now, think about this. If something unexpected happens tomorrow, does it interrupt your plan, or does it erase it? That difference matters more than most people realize, because setbacks are not rare, they're normal. Picture two situations. In the first, an unexpected expense appears. You have no buffer. Everything stops. You adjust, you delay, you recover. In the second, the same expense appears. It's annoying, but it doesn't change your direction. You handle it, you move on. The event is identical. The outcome is not. So instead of aiming for a perfect safety net, build your first layer, something small that creates space, because space gives you options, and options reduce bad decisions. Without that layer, you rush decisions, you prioritize immediate relief, you abandon long-term plans. Not because you want to, because pressure forces it. Even a small buffer changes how you think. It gives you time, and time is one of the most valuable things money can give you. Final step. You don't need to track your money every day. That creates fatigue. But you also can't ignore it completely. That creates drift. So instead of extremes, you build a simple check-in. Not daily, not obsessive, just occasional awareness. Ask 3 questions. Is money going where it should? Is progress still happening? Has anything quietly changed? You're not judging yourself. You're checking the system. Because when something is visible, it can be adjusted. When it's invisible, it usually becomes expensive later. Now, compare 2 people. The first one tries to stay on top of everything. They think about money often. They adjust constantly. They rely on discipline. The second one spends 1 hour building structure. After that, they don't think about money as much. Not because they don't care, because most decisions are already handled. After a few months, they look similar. After a year, they don't. One is constantly reacting. The other is moving forward without needing to reset every time something changes. You don't need a perfect system. You don't need perfect numbers. You don't need to become a different person. You need something that works when you're tired, distracted, or busy. Because that's most days. Right now, ask yourself one thing. What part of your financial life still depends on you remembering to do the right thing? That's where your system is missing. That's where your money is leaking. Comment it below. And if you want more videos that make money simple, practical, and actually useful, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. If you like this, you'll probably like the videos on your screen too.